that was fun. I was all into my routine, and YouTube decided to turn it off, which is fine. You know, that's their prerogative. What we're going to do is we're going to start over again. This is the new one. Okay. If you can get down on the floor, great. If you have a yoga mat or you have something to put down on the floor, that's great too. If you can't, you can do this in the bed. You can do this off of the couch, kinda, maybe, but don't get down on the floor if you can't get down on the floor, all right? So it's a little breezy. I don't have my mic with me, but we're gonna do great, all right? So let's start off with some simple breathing. Nice and tall, breathe in. Nice pine smoke. Breathe out. Pine is fine. Breathe in. Oak is a joke. Breathe out. One more. Breathe in. Breathe out. So we're going to do 3 5-second, all right? So we're going to breathe in for 5 seconds, hold for 5 seconds, breathe out for 5 seconds, hold for 5 seconds. Now I'm just counting up here, so it's not going to be accurate for some of you that are from the Northeast. All right, ready? Breathe in. Hold. Breathe out. Hold. Breathe in. Hold. Breathe out. Hold. Breathe in. Let's do one more. Breathe out. Hold. Breathe in. Hold. Breathe out. Hold. Now let's try to breathe normally. Remember, if you can, make a practice. It's called box breathing. Mark Devine, Navy SEAL, he taught me that. So if you can do that for 5 minutes a day, it's going to make a huge difference. Remember, guru is nothing more than somebody that removes darkness. How do you remove darkness? You introduce light. Okay? Introducing light is always referred to as not just knowledge, but wisdom is knowledge applied. So you have to learn something, and then you have to apply it. If you just have knowledge, knowledge is like a light bulb that's laying outside the socket. You have to take the light bulb and turn the light bulb in to the socket, turn the light on with the power, which is movement. All right, movement is medicine. So we're going to do a lower body movement this morning. Ha 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 ha. We're going to do a lower body engagement this morning. And remember, we're not trying to force anything. We're just trying to bring about joint mobility and extension and retraction of the muscles. A lot of time in yogic poses, people try to force the movement. They try to get down. If you can't breathe, if you can't take a long, deep breath, then you're not in the pose. The pose is nowhere near you. You have to ease yourself in. You want the body to relax and move properly. So we're going to do some lower body stuff, all right? So let's take the legs now. If you can be on the floor, remember, if you can't be on the floor, you don't want that I've fallen and I can't get up kind of deal, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to sit tall, and we're going to bring this knee in and let this knee go flat. Now, if you're having issues with this, if you're feeling something, right here. This is called the Netflix muscle, okay? This little Netflix muscle, and they call it the Netflix muscle because it shortens when you're slumping and sitting down and binge watching Netflix all the time. They don't really call it that. I just came up with that. Okay, now sit tall. Okay, then let's try to transfer to the other side. Sit tall, transfer, sit tall, transfer, sit tall, transfer, sit tall. You don't have to do it as fast as I am. We're not counting today. There's not a certain amount of reps that you're having to keep up with. But you see how when I'm here, through the darkness of the smoke, I'm extending, I'm pushing up and through, as if somebody's got a rope on top of my head and pulling up and through. Okay, a couple more. Last one on this side. Okay, so that's just a seated position just to get those legs kind of moving. So what we're going to do now is we're going to lay down on our back and we're going to do some windshield wiper movements that's going to open up our hip areas. Usually when people have trouble with their knees, 90% of the time when people have trouble with their knees, it's not their knees that are the issue. It's their hips or their ankles. Remember, mobilize the ankles, mobilize the hips. We're supposed to stabilize the knees. The knees are made to do this. They're not made to do this. That's what these are made for. These, okay, these. All right, so what do we have to do? We have to understand the hips and the ankles need to be mobilized. So if we're not doing that, then our knees are taking too much of the pressure, okay? Pressure. Isn't that a wonderful word? Pressure. All right, so we're going to lay back. Now this morning, okay, we are not Russian. We're American. Okay, if you're watching this in Russia, I apologize, you are Russian. But don't be Russian for this. Okay, we want to be American and we want to be Southern Americans. Slow it down a little bit. All right, certainly don't want to be from New Jersey. Whew, so glad I'm not from New Jersey. Okay, so lay back. I want you to put the hands down, facing palms down. Just let the knees lay to the side, okay? So I'm going to let the knees lay to the left, but I'm going to look to the right. Now, I'm not going to look to the right because then you won't be able to hear me because I don't have my mic with me. But we're going to keep that left shoulder, all right, and right shoulder on the ground. So it looked like this. Lay to the left, look to the right, lay to the right, look to the left. All right, so how are we going to do it? When we're lifting the legs up, when we're letting them fall. Remember, when we lift, we breathe in. When we let go, we breathe out. So up, to the right, look to the left, breathe in, breathe out. Go your own pace, just don't go fast, all right? This is not a Ruthven movement. We don't have to do it at a high speed. They don't get up this early. Keep the shoulders in contact. If you're having to lift the shoulders, you're forcing the issue. All right, good. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add in a movement. All right, we're going to take our leg cross over. So this is the way it's going to look. You got your leg crossed over, all right? You're going to take the foot down, touch the floor with the foot, right shoulder still on the ground. Then you're going to bring that up, and then you're going to use the foot to pull
the knee over. So my left knee's not touching the ground. If it did, see how my shoulder would come up? So that means I've got tension up through here. So I don't want to push too much. That would cause the shoulder and give me a false sense of mobility. I don't have that mobility, so I'm just taking it where it's going to go. So this is how it's going to go. It's going to go. We're going to breathe in and then breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Two more. Alright, I'm not sure if that was 2 or 3. It doesn't matter. Not really into counting this early in the day. Alright, I'm just going to try to go by feel. Remember what we're trying to open up. Alright. Alright, so now we're going to take the opposite foot, cross over, keep the shoulders engaged with the ground. And we're going to breathe in, breathe out. If you're not comfortable turning your head back and forth, if you feel like that puts too much of a strain on your neck, don't do it. These things don't have to be done exactly. Just trying to move. The upper body one way, the lower body the other way. It's all about trying to open up the hips, the tension that's going through the lower abdomen, the hip flexor complex, the lumbar. This area here, you're supposed to have a strong core to stabilize the lumbar. Remember, between the upper body and the lower body, there's only these bones right here. These little bitty bones at the bottom that are holding on. If you have a weak core, no wonder your lower back hurts all the time. Now, if everything's feeling all right so far for you, we can continue. If you're still feeling tight through there, just keep doing that movement. You don't have to go progress to the next movement. All right, this is not a race. So what we're going to do is we're going to now take the right leg, cross it again, as long as everything feels okay. Then we're going to lean up, reach through, grab our shin. If you can't grab your shin, grab the back of the leg. All right? I'm going to reach through, I'm going to grab the shin, and then I'm going to lay back down. All right? Hello, glute. So the glute is pretty tight. So what I'm going to do in my left leg, and I'm just going to move through that ankle and try to breathe in to the tension that's in my right hip. I remember when I went to take my yoga teacher training, and Gwen said, breathe in to the tension. Breathe into your hip. I'm thinking, yeah, okay. And then I started thinking like that, and it actually helps you to focus on an area. You're not actually breathing in through your lungs. You're actually breathing into that area because oxygen's going through your bloodstream. So just, if your hip's really tight, just think about breathing into that tension, See how I'm drawing up? And then as I exhale, trying to release that tension. Doing some nice figure eights with my ankles, feeling that crunching and cracking from 40 something years of running. There we go, feel pretty good. All right, kind of loosen that up a little bit. Just rock and roll back and forth. Okay, if you can lay to the side, going back and forth. Don't rock too much on this. Might be really tagged. All right, now let's switch over to the other side. Okay, legs, my left leg's crossing over my right leg. Woo-hoo-hoo, it's gonna be bad. Then I'm gonna reach through, grab my shin. Oh, it's not as bad as I thought. Anticipation. All right. You get what you pay for. Breathe into that left glute. Might be a hip flexor, it might be the glute. And move that right ankle. Try to move the foot in every direction that you can. You're going to hear popping and cracking. It's a little breezy out here this morning in the 100-acre wood. Back and forth. Good. All right, then let it go. Now, how are you feeling? Okay? You feeling that? Have you released any tension through the hips, through each side? If so, we're going to progress to the Bretzel. It's called the Bretzel after Brett Jones. He's a guy that's CMF and also Strong First. And so we call it the Bretzel. It's just a simple movement. But don't do this if you're still tight. If you're still tight, go back to the other moves that we did before. Just letting the legs go to the side, crossing the legs, doing what we just did. If you're still tight there, just stay there. But if everything feel like it's moving okay, all right, then what we're going to do now is we're going to take the right hand and put it on the outside of the left knee. Right hand, left knee. Left hand, right ankle. Left hand, right ankle. Let that right leg fall. If you can, get the knee down to the ground. Now I'm going to take my right hand, and you got it. I'm going to look to the left, draw my leg to the right. All right, let's go through that again, okay? Right hand. Left hand. Right hand, where's it going to go? Left knee. Left hand, right ankle. Right knee goes to the ground. Looking over my left shoulder, I'm going to breathe in. Then I'm going to let my right hand pull my left leg over my body, but I'm not going to let my shoulder lift up. Breathe in up. Exhale down. Shoulders coming up a little bit of tension there, Junior. Do one more. All right. Just think of it as your spine and your body is a wash rag, wet, and you're trying to